show. We figured we'd have a little newsy break this week, because we're always looking for excuses never to watch an episode of Doctor Who, even though we've both seen the next one.
Not watch it.
Let's not watch it. Let's just talk about it. But yes, this is just a quick intermission, because more David Tennant rumors have been coming around again. I think we're going to continually get these kinds of rumors for the next 10 years, for various reasons. But in effect, there's been a rumor swirling that Mr. Tennant was secretly brought into the studios to film scenes for the upcoming season finale, shoot his first series. The source isn't very reliable. I think they just tend to throw stuff out there in the hope that sometimes it sticks. But we know that leaks from that have come out so far under Russell in his second return have been true. So if this is a proper leak, then
at least it wasn't. This isn't from like that leak, so there is a chance this is just clarification.
Yes. But we do know that Russell's been quite leaky recently.
Oh wow.
But this rumor effectively states that David Tennant will be back in the season 1 finale. So they're bringing a Doctor back from before season 1. It works.
It's a stupid idea.
Well, I mean, I think we both share the same thoughts about David Tennant potentially returning.
I hate whenever this news comes out and you're like, let's do a video on it, because I just come across the head.
It's fine. I think it's fair.
In future, if these news comes out, you're doing this video on your own. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. And then there'll be a Matt Smith one. You're like, no, wait.
He's back. I revive my own channel and make it a Matt Smith stan account.
Matt Smith. Yeah. Oh yeah, man, that could work. It's fine.
Should have already happened, but there you go.
What do you think? Do you think this is inevitable? Do you think it should be happening? If it is happening?
It shouldn't be happening, but it is inevitable, I think. Otherwise, just having regenerate normally, there's no need for the bioregeneration. It's more trouble than it's worth. But the fact that he's just separately out there, he's like, oh, I'm retired now. I'm going to stay here, but I'm going to keep my TARDIS. I'm already sneaking away behind Donna's back doing little trips. It's going to happen, I'm sure. Will it happen now in conjunction with this rumor? Who can say? I hope not. I do wish they'd just leave the man alone. But I don't know. I do feel like it's going to happen eventually. I'd rather main show, he's gone. He's done.
Yeah.
And he pops up in spin-offs and stuff, but that doesn't seem to be what would happen. So yeah, it's a complicated situation. So obviously there's going to be those people who are like, more. But I think it's very oversaturated now. And I hate the idea that people aren't watching Shooty's era because they're enjoying Doctor Who and they're enjoying Shooty. They're like, oh, I have to keep up because David Tennant's going to pop back up at some point.
Yeah.
And especially if he's in the finale, as is the rumor. I'm like, so we can't even let Shooty just have one finale to himself. Yeah, it's going to be like 3 years before he gets his own finale, and even then, David Tennant might show up. I don't want him to kind of be constantly undermined by the other doctors and stuff. And it's a very weird situation, I think, because there's going to be plenty of people who would like this idea. But it makes even less sense to do the whole series 1. This is a fresh jumping on point for fans. If you are now just going to bring back all these characters from the specials anyway, and we already know some of the characters from the 60th specials are coming back. At
least three are coming back from the specials.
But this is a fresh jumping on point, everyone. It's wild that we're still having to talk about David Tennant in Doctor Who. The weirdest shit they can do is bring David Tennant back as a new Doctor, and they've done that. So, it can only be a bit less weird from here. you would think, and then by regeneration, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Personally, I'm like, just stop now. Like, I'm so bored of it. David Tennant's performance is iconic in that role. He was great in the 60th. He was great for those 3 years he was the main Doctor.
Yeah.
I don't see what else he can give to that part anymore. I don't see what more we as an audience would get from his performance as those characters, because we've got literally everything and then some from him. And Shooty's just brand new and fresh, and so is Ruby. And I'd rather we just lean into that. It just stinks of like, it's a fresh new era we're moving on, but not really, because this era was the best. And I hope that's not the case. And obviously, let's be honest, this is probably bullshit. But you know, people.
There's always a chance. People can say this every single year until he comes back. They'll say this every year.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
The fact that these articles keep existing, maybe just to get some clout and get some attention and get some clicks and stuff. That's the problem with bringing him back at all ever. Is that this is just always going to happen now, especially making him a whole new Doctor, who then doesn't just regenerate normally and moves on, because now there's actually a very, very easy way of bringing him back into it. So I'm just bored and I'm just tired. Is my thought.
So, I mean, I recently finished the Giggle target novelization, and it delves a bit more into the bi-generation, sort of the coexisting thing there. And this one always sort of implied in that book that at one point David Tennant is just going to fade back into Shooty. So do you think that maybe they could bring him back in for the very end of this finale, where he could be like, "Hey, I'm done now. I'm being absorbed by you again," and he just goes away, and then that's it? Or do you think then, what's the point?
That is it. Like, what's the point? The very next time we see him, he's just like, "Ooh, what was the point of doing the bi-regeneration in the first place?"
Yeah, and I mean,
other than to get people to keep watching in case he shows up.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe that is just why they've done it, but I think we discussed this around the time when we spoke about the Gigglers. They must have a plan, or they must have some idea of what they want that Doctor to do at this point. Because why bi-generate in the first place? If I know there has to be a point. Everything that happens in Doctor Who canon and when it gets created and thrown in is for a point. Regeneration, so the show can keep going on. The pre-Hartnell incarnations mainly so they can have just other people show up and be like, well, hey, that's a fun thing that you could do. So to have this happen, unless they're planning on using it in the future again for a bigger reason and just planting seeds now, even though it's supposed to be rare, it's a strange thing to do if you don't really have a plan for it. I know Russell sometimes likes leaving things for other people to maybe do something with if he wants, the ring and the tooth, both for the Master. He's left before, but it does seem very strange. And I mean, if he comes back, fine, but I don't want him to come back into the finale and be like, "Hey, I'm saving everyone," because then that feels very mixed. It's kind of like in Spider-Man Homecoming, where he fucks all the shit up and Iron Man has to come in and save him. And people don't necessarily like that because it's like, well, this is, it's a Spider-Man film. It should be about Spider-Man, not the other character coming in. And that's, I think, the issue we may face with this, where if Shooty's like, "Oh, I can't do it," or
the better Doctor's here, everyone. The fan favorite Doctor's here to save the day now. I don't want that to be the thing. I know, like, Russell was kind of saying he did the bi-regeneration because, like, the idea of having, a Doctor and the next Doctor on screen together interacting, like, isn't that a great idea? What, where's that been done before? Even though it hasn't, like, the three Doctors and stuff from Patrick Chatter's point of view, we are seeing that. I do get that, but you did it for half an episode, mate. Like, if you love that idea so much, and we knew Shooty was going to be in those specials because he's in the very first trailer for the 60th.
Do it a bit more.
Get rid of Warbly Yonder and have 2 episodes of that or something. Like, is it really worth it unless there are, like, longer term plans? And if there are longer term plans, why are there longer term plans?
I mean, because it goes back to the issue of if he is to front up or appear in spin-offs. There's been rumors, fan demand for a Donna and Doctor spin-off. There's been obviously rumors of the Unit one, rumors of the Sea Devil Silurian one. And if he's going to be just a Earthbound Doctor, I just think it risks audiences, rather than following the main show, then skewing to the other ones and just staying there and never coming back because like, oh, I don't like that guy. I don't care. I only want to see David. I mean, I think it's a struggle. I think the show's created its own problem in terms of this. Because I mean, I looked at the comments on this post that was announcing it, and a lot of people there were saying, oh, don't bring him back. It could same thing as we were saying. So there is a mixed, I think, emotion feeling around it. Especially when it's just at the end of a normal season. If it was like a special or some kind of anniversary, it might make more sense.
Yeah.
But for just a normal, for just a normal year. Although, to be fair, if he's coming back, if they brought him back next year, that's 10 years of New Who. So that would at least be 10 years, 20 years of 20 years of New Who.
Yeah, but
so
New Who's over. We don't care about that anymore. This is 2023 onwards Doctor Who now, so we're not going to be celebrating that.
No, you're right. This New Who's dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm happy for the 15th Doctor, 14th Doctor. I'm getting confused already. 14th Doctor to just stay in expanded media, whether that be whether that be like books or audio or comics.
I think that's the better route to go down.
Yeah, and we need Doctor Who spin-offs, and we've mentioned this before. They should be focusing on the lesser characters. So for the Unit 1, it's Kate Stewart, it's Shirley, it's Rose. It's characters that maybe you could have male come in as a former companion like Sarah Jane Adventures and Torchwood, but they've got that lesser people, but they go off and they do their own thing, and they can do that, and they don't have to worry about a Time Lord. People didn't have the whole, when everything was happening in Torchwood and Sarah Jane, people weren't like, oh, where's the Doctor? Why is he not coming to help out? Blah blah blah. Because that people just don't think like that. They say he's busy.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense when doctors land in places. Someone's not like, oh, this doctor's here at this time. Why doesn't he go and do that? Because people just accept that this is the story we're following. But I don't know. He could come back.
I mean, he will.
Yeah. I think it would be ridiculous if he came back next year.
When Russell leaves, he'll definitely be back for that. But I think he'll probably be back before that as well.
I think what he'll do, I think he'll be back for Shooty's Regeneration episode, because he'll merge back into him at that point, and then they'll go forwards normally. I think that's the best route forward. And then if some future showrunner wants to bring him in, or the company wants to go and explore his adventures between those things, great. But I don't think that should be done for at least 3 years, until Shooty finishes. Until Shooty finishes, I don't think they should do that. It's fine, teasing, because they haven't. There's a cat.
Hello, George.
Got something to say.
George has some very strong words about Doctor Who.
Strong. Sure, you can't hear him, but he is swearing so much about David Tennant's returning.
He really is. What do you think, George? Never know.
Yeah, nice. But putting a positive spin on this, if you could bring somebody back for the show, who would it be? Who would you want to see return, or would you not want to see anyone return? Is
as in like a character or an actor or a writer?
Yeah, any doesn't matter.
I don't know.
It's the answer is Slovene. That's what you should be saying.
That is true. I would like to see the Slovene or the cigarettes back would be fun.
Yeah. We've had yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, those kind of villains, I think, like the classic villains that you always kind of want to see. They're always going to pop up again eventually, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I obviously I would love to have Matt Smith back, but I think the boat has now passed with the 60th on that. So I've kind of given up hope of that. So I think I'm kind of just good now going forward. I think just leave it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think the fans need to, have some sense knocked into them and accept that this show is about change. Who can say if that's actually going to be the case? Probably not, based on the episodes we've gotten so far. But I would happily be proven wrong.
Yeah, I mean, the 60th is a prime time to bring people back whenever you want. I think they've established that some people exist in this universe with the Unit, so I think those characters can return. But the show just risks becoming somewhere where every other episode's like, hey, remember this person? And everyone's every time we have a new series, everyone's like, oh, the Master's back, oh, the Rani's back, oh,
Hey,
Ed
remember
back.
the bioregeneration happens to every single Doctor now, and there's just
Yeah,
all the
allegedly,
for
yeah.
all we know,
Yeah.
Peter Capaldi's going to show up and merge into Shooty in his final story or something. Like, what's going on?
Could you imagine that would be? I'd allow that. That'd be
Just
great.
the
Although,
ultimate Scots together, just merge.
yeah. And you know, I'm more than happy if they want to just throw in a random Doctor crossover episode in the middle of a series with no build up or anything. I think that would be great and unique and something that's a bit more out of the box, as long as it's not just again David Tennant. You know, have somebody else show have somebody else do a Ruth Doctor where it's like, oh yeah, I'm a doctor by the way, and then have that reveal. Do more with that, because that very much was like, here it is, and then just went away and was never really. We never saw her again.
We didn't
really.
properly see her again. No, not in the present day or anything. She was always a hologram or hallucination.
Yeah, so I'd love to for them to do something like that and commit to the bit basically, because it very much felt like Chibnall was like, here's the little seed for it. I'm not going to do anything else though. This is just there if somebody else wants to do it, and I think it'd be great if something like that happens more often. Well, not more often as in like every single season, but something out of the blue where you're not expecting it, and that also comes into the fact with every single time a leak comes out and tends to be true at the minute, especially from sort of some certain sources. It's kind of like, oh, I just want to not be expecting these kinds of things. I'm all for like teases and stuff, but when it's full like, oh yeah, we know that this is going to happen, it's like, oh.
Yeah, because there's like, if you want to know what Ruby's whole deal is, you can go out there and find it. Like, people know that, and we're not going to get closure on that for probably like 6 or so months in the show.
No,
and yet we've known for a long time now where that's going. So it would be nice to like throw a curve. Honestly, the biggest curveball they can throw is that no one comes back.
yeah. I mean, they did that with Wild Blue Yonder. To be fair, you know, that was.
Well, they didn't. They brought David Tennant and Captain Tate back again somehow in the middle of their return.
Again,
and Will showed up at the end. Like all the returns.
He did, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I think the Giggle novelization, at least, definitely did put a more firmer print on the Doctor's chilling here now, and he won't be doing much for a while, which is great. It also more firmly sort of cemented Shooty's role in that and how that works. And it was a really good Target novelization, by the way, guys. If you're going to read any of the 3 from the 60th, that's probably worth a read. But yeah, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll be back here in 6 months saying, "Wow!"
Back here in 6 months.
Who could have thought David Tennant was back? Huh?
Wow!
Who could have predicted this?
Can't believe he's the 16th Doctor. Who'd have thought?
Wow! I can't believe they've converted David Tennant into a Cyberman. That would be the biggest curveball. That's why he's back, not because he's back, but because there was a Cyberman invasion and he got converted. Oh, could you imagine? I think that'd be great. But then that's a curveball that would be more interesting than just he's back, yay! Do something
just
with
immediately kill him. But
make him evil.
But then could he even merge back into Shooty if he was a Cyberman?
Yeah, that could be an interesting thing that he has to go around trying to figure out how they could deconvert him. Or they make it like the Cyberwoman, where he's just in like some metal boxer shorts and the heads, and there we go. What more do you need?
It's just it's just a converted 14, the Cyberwoman and Danny Pink with his cyber body and his human face, just chilling out.
The Brigadier, who is just normal,
and just the Brigadier, just chilling.
Yeah. Oh, you know, that's a good way of bringing. We brought back all of these companions. It's just plain Cybermen.
Just all Cybermen.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we could write an episode. That'd be fun. But I mean, a very quick thing. There's always been rumors that Stephen Moffat may be returning, allegedly, maybe even for this season. Do you think that's the case? Do you think they'll have brought him in this early?
Maybe. I feel like they would have announced that if it was going to be happening immediately.
Yeah.
So they like announcing some of the writers and stuff quite early. Maybe they changed it up because, you know, most people watching the episode aren't going to be like, oh my God, Stephen Moffat wrote this? Like, that's the best surprise ever. Like, it's not like as big of a thing, I don't think, as like an actor coming back or anything. But, you know, I feel like maybe he has come back and written one. I don't know if it'd be for Shooty's first season, but who can really say? he's been a busy boy with his West End show at the minute, so I don't know if he's had the time to write for
He
season
certainly
2.
has.
So maybe he did write for season 1. I don't know.
I mean, he's very busy writing Sherlock season 5, obviously.
Yeah, the Sherlock season 5 they said is definitely happening. Yeah. Come on, people need to let Sherlock go as well. They said 4 is the end. Like, come on, they're too famous now.
They really are too famous. Although, you know, Martin Freeman's probably not got many more MCU appearances in him. So
no, probably
Benedict Cumberbatch, however, you know, he's probably a bit more. They could just kill him. Just kill Sherlock. You know, that thing they did at the end of the 2nd season. Just do it again.
Yeah, why not?
Fine.
Yeah.
Have him regenerate.
Have him bi-regenerate into Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And then he can carry on.
Could you imagine? Make it happen, BBC. You've got those Disney connections now. It could work. They tricked Benedict Cumberbatch into thinking he's doing Doctor Strange 3.
Well, Robert Downey Jr. is a Doctor
3?
Who fan, so they could get him in it.
Well, there we go. There we go. Easy enough done. And get Ryan Gosling in while we're there.
I couldn't survive Ryan Gosling.
Who could? But yeah, I mean, that's it. Probably not a David Tennant return, but
we've said that before.
We certainly have.
And it was a stupid idea.
we literally said they won't bring David Tennant back as the 14th Doctor. And what did they do? They brought
Rakeem Thakrar is obviously the 14th Doctor.
Chris Marshall is back, guys. He's coming in. Finally.
Obviously, he won't be 14. He'll be like the Bridge Doctor. Shooty's 14, obviously. No.
God. Well,
sure,
look,
no, they won't bi-regenerate. That's so ridiculous. Why would they do that? No.
We've been wrong before, so
we'll be wrong again.
Be wrong again. Yeah. But we'll see. We will see. I mean, you know, it's only a couple of months now, really, until the new series
probably
starts.
About this time of 3 months, we'll probably be at least
one
episode in, hopefully.
We'll at least know when we'll at least know when it's going to air. So, you know, it's only a matter of time for those new Doctor Who, and I'm very curious to see how it goes. Only 8 episodes this year, and then maybe that's it till Christmas. But it wouldn't surprise me if by the end of that series they announce the spin-offs coming in autumn. Spin-offs coming in autumn. I wouldn't be shocked if that happens.
No.
But in the meantime, we will continue to keep an eye out on any news that may crop up. Hopefully, some non-David Tennant related news. Please, I want something new, please. And we will hopefully be back shortly with Listen, Peter Capaldi's episode. Peter Capaldi's very spooky episode, which I'm still not able to sleep because I watched it and now I'm horrified. Completely horrified.
Oh, really?
Horrified by the weird thing on the bed.
Yes.
Never again. But yes, that will be it for now. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.